What's happening, everybody? Oh man, good morning, good morning. It's a Michigan Musketeer, huh? Yeah, man. You know, it's a lot of weather rolling through the South. A lot of weather rolling through the South. It just started picking up really, really good here. Good morning, good morning. Yeah, the weather just started picking up really good here. I hear the rain decently loud right now. Schools are early releasing today, so I don't know what's coming, but some coming from the South. Not sure what it is, but and I've been so distracted and preoccupied with some other stuff that I hadn't even paid that much attention to the weather. All I know is I'm getting notifications out of everywhere saying that it's about to go down. I'm not sure what. Tornadoes, bad winds, rain. I don't know, but it's a lot happening. It's a lot going on. So how you ladies doing this morning? Yep. I was and doing all this attachment styles and still kicking. I love it. I love it. Yeah, me too, man. Me too. Going through all this attachment styles and the love languages and all these things. I've gone through a lot of this stuff before and I've seen it before. But because I'm talking to you about it, it's actually making me take a deeper look at some things. And one of the things that I've come to realize is that there are very few coincidences in life. Very few. From the music that we listen to, the people that we gravitate toward, the style of clothing, the type of relationship, the type of work. Everything, nothing is random. At least most things aren't. Some things on a whim may just happen. You might be in the right place at the right time and somebody just pluck you out of the box of other people and decide to show you something different. But by and large, most people is either something that's genetically in them, something that they've picked up, something that they're attracted to, and it's normally for a reason. And so back 2017, I went through a separation, a marital separation with my children's my mother. My youngest son, Jordan, he was the youngest one at the time. And the other three kids, two were in college, one was about to graduate and go to college. And I had discussions with all of them about what was happening and why it was happening. And being a little older, they understood. My youngest son, of course, he didn't quite understand. All he knew his life was he had a mom and a dad, and life was what it was. For better or for worse, life was what it was. But that changed. And so as dad, I took it upon myself to bridge that gap because I know I've seen the fallout of what happens when parents split, how it impacts the child. And I didn't want him impacted that way. So I talked with his mom and said, hey, you coming to live with me. And in 2019, our divorce was finalized and my son was living with me. But he kept playing these songs. He kept sharing his music collection with me. I mean, every time we get in the car, he would just be saying, hey, Pop, check this out, check this out. And he'll put on some new artist that I've never heard of. And I bob my head a little bit and I listen. I'm hearing him. And I said, man, who is that? I like this. I like that. But it was one guy in particular. This guy was like, most of you in the room remember that begging man back in the day, Keith Sweat. Y'all remember him, right? Put a one in the chat if you remember Keith Sweat. If you remember Keith Sweat, put a one in the chat. Keith Sweat was the singingest, beggingest guy out there. And shout out to him because he helped me out in a lot of situations. However, this guy that he kept playing, he wasn't begging, but he was like, every song is like he would open his heart and he would just bleed. Oh, begging Joker, that's right. He would just be pouring his heart out over these tracks. And it resonated with me at a certain level. I didn't even understand why. You said crying, Keith. But that was the area that we were in, though, right? You see, and I'm saying, I don't think there are coincidences in life. I think everything happens or everything is connected in a certain way. And as we're going through these attachment styles, today I want to focus on the dismissive, avoidant one. Because that is the one that is the most traumatic of, if I had to guess out of the two or three, that is the one that impacts the most people. And so, but anyway, my son, he kept playing this one artist, this guy by the name of Rod Wave, wrote Darius Green. Rod Wave. And his first hit was Hard on Ice. This was before he was even signed. He was doing the SoundCloud, maybe it was TikTok around then, I'm not sure. But my son was finding it on these social spaces. And he had this one song, the first song called Hard on Ice. And matter of fact, he said, look, heart been broke so many times, I don't know what to believe. Mama say it's my fault. It's my fault I wear my heart on my sleeve. I think it's best I put my heart on ice, because I can't breathe. I'm going to put my heart on ice. It's getting the best of me. Y'all, anybody remember that song? I mean, it's probably still playing on the radio today. I'm not really a radio guy, but I hear it. My son played this song, and I could not understand why. Yeah, it's like he just literally cut his wrist and just bleed all on the microphone, and it's like you feel what he's saying. I saw some clips of some concert footage, and it was almost like, this guy, he was in the business, in the industry for only a couple of years, but he had sold out shows. People with their flashlights going up and they bleeding along with him. My son was in that group. I was in that group because I could relate to so many things that he said. It was like, well, how was this guy's voice speaking for so many people? And then I started really going back through his lyrics. In the first verse of Hard on Ice, it says this: while in the cell with Lil Joaquin after I slapped him, I told him I don't know how you get down with these clowns, but I'm a soldier. No one could ever understand. I had way too much aggression. that's built over the years from my abandoned adolescence. See, I done been lied to, backstabbed, and heartbroken. I wanted to cry, but I was too afraid to open. If this man ain't bleeding, if this man ain't telling his truth, and people are resonating with it because they can relate, he's being authentic, he's being real. But if you understand psychology, if you understand how the brain works, if you understand this quote unquote attachment theory, you will understand that Mr. Rod Wave definitely is a dismissive avoidant. He is 100%, well, maybe not 100%, but he's a dismissive avoidant. And I know some of you still may not have an idea who he is, so I'm gonna just drop his images on the screen real quick. This is Rodarius Marcel Green, aka Rod Wave. This is what my boy looks like. He's a big boy. Has a pretty decent voice. He's an amazing storyteller. And he's really telling his story. Boom. Hard times tat. I mean, that says a lot, right? That says a lot about who he is, where he comes. It's a teddy bear thug. Oh, man. That's wild. I got it. Oh, man. Never heard that one before. That's my cousin, y'all. I never heard that one before. Call him Teddy Bear Thug. But yeah, so that's Rod Wave. He's just a regular guy. He's not, I mean, he's you know, he is kind of teddy bearish. You know, he's not like Shaquille O'Neal big, but he's, you know, he might be, I don't know what, 5'8", 250, 260. He's not a small guy. Monique says, I've never heard of him. Okay, Monique, here's your homework assignment. He has, matter of fact, we're going to go through some of his lyrics today to a couple of songs. And I'm going to give you an introduction to him. I'm going to tell you a little bit about him. But I want you to, I don't know if you use Apple or Tidal or you a Spotify person, whatever you is, just go in, look up his discography. Is that still a word, discography? But his top songs, his top 5 songs. And he has a very soulful sound. His voice is very rich. YouTube him. Oh, man. See, there you go. There you go. See, that's why I mess with y'all. I be doing too much sometimes. But anywho, yeah, you can YouTube and get indoctrinated to his sound. I mean, he speaks for a lot of people. He speaks to a lot of people. His story is very relatable. But before we get too deep into his story, I want to cover real quick what the I want to cover real quick before we even go there too far what the dismissive avoidant is. What the dismissive avoidant is. So, and what we know what the dismissive avoidant is. It's me. It's me. But we're gonna talk about that core wound. And I'm actually gonna share my screen today. Let's see. Why are you on my screen? That's not what I want. Let's go here. Boom. All right. Let's flip it around. Move myself over. All right. The dismissive avoidant. Stop it. All right. So basically, the dismissive avoidant is what I like to. What? K said his music be too sad. So okay, his music I can see how you would say the music is a little sad. I get that part. But what I will say is his music is only sad if you're listening to it um, with the melody. If you listen to it for the melody, if you actually listen to the words and start listening to the story, you see so much more behind it. And don't get me wrong, it's not the happiest of things, but if he had a more upbeat rhyme or rhythm to it, it wouldn't even seem as sad. The story behind it is really what I want you to hear, and you'll understand why here in a few minutes. So, all right, can we see that? All right, so dismissive avoidant. The dismissive avoidant, these wounds are deeper in the subconscious than the anxious or fearful, so they are harder to become cognizant of. Dismissive avoidants tend to be emotionally blunted, so so you won't feel the associated emotions as much. However, if you look into the behaviors, you'll see they stem from these wounds. The dismissive is the least likely to want to heal because it triggers the core wounds of I am defective. I am defective. All right. So this is the one that I personally struggle with because it speaks so much to my story and who I am and what I've been through. And as they just said, this is the one that it's harder to heal from because it triggers so many of those core wounds because it makes you re-examine who you are, where you've been, your shortcomings. So let's just start over here in the corner where it says core wounds. I will be abandoned and I am alone. It is assumed that this will happen in the long term, not in the short time, but the long term. Will anybody ever love me? Will anybody ever stick with me? You cope with these wounds by keeping yourself alone because you find safety and comfort in it. They call this associated emotion existential loneliness. Do anybody know anybody like this? Do anybody have an idea or have run across somebody who just tends to just to be by themselves all the time? They don't want to bond with people because they feel like they're going to be let down, hurt, whatever. They're going to be abandoned. When me and B first got together, we were having an argument. We were probably maybe 2 years in, and we were having an argument about, I don't even know what it was over now. It's been so long. But we were having this argument. And so what I'm going through, I need to leave the scene. I need to get out of Dodge. I need to go clear my head. And she used a very key word that stopped me in my tracks. Because when somebody who's avoiding, it's very few things you're going to say to them that it's going to make them stop. It's going to make them stand still and or give you what you want. But as I was walking out the door, she said, "So you going to abandon me?" You going to abandon me? As I was walking up, I just stopped and I turned back around and I looked at her and I said, "What you mean abandon you? I'm just trying to get some air. I need to think." And she was like, "No, when you leave when you're angry, that feels like abandonment to me." Woo! So, how do you know you love a person? How do you know when you love a person? What y'all think I did? Did I keep walking or did I turn my butt around and close that door? What do y'all think I did? Now, I'm known to be stubborn. I just want to put that out there. I am known. I will cut off my nose to spite my whole face. That is what I've been known for. What do y'all think I did in this situation? Did I keep going or did I stay? Oh, y'all think y'all know me. Y'all don't know me, but I did sit my butt down though. I closed that door and I turned around because the one word she used, you're gonna abandon me. And what's the one thing somebody who's been hurt, traumatized, or felt that hurt by, the last thing most people want to do is visit that upon somebody else, especially somebody that they love. Especially somebody that they love. Yep. And so I stayed and we worked through whatever that was. Now, I will still pack a bag. I will still pack me a little overnight bag. I don't use it no more, but I load that joker up and put it on the bed so she can see it. Oh man. But sometimes you guys gotta go through the exercise or the practice, the repetition, the exercise of just doing it. Just to clear your mind because I know if I leave, she feel like I'm abandoning her. So if I pack a bag, it makes me feel like I'm leaving. So I work through whatever I need to work through. So we find our own ways. Also, another core wound is I am unsafe. I am unsafe. Let me see if I can move this over here a little bit. If I do that, let's do that. All right, yeah. I am unsafe. Because the emotional neglect makes you feel unloved. Unloved, key word. You don't feel like you can trust your parents. You feel like your parents could leave at any time, and then you won't be physically taken care of any longer. And so some of the resulting behaviors is you don't feel like you can rest and you are on constant alert, that flight or fight. You can become overly attached to material things like money or food or animals because they are more loyal, which also brings out the emotions of panic, fear, agitation, and irritation. When he said, you better not use it, so she got more sisters now. Oh, man. Okay. Oh, here we go. Here we go. So I call a round table meeting. Hey, man, we all have our process. And so I was the kid who felt that way. And it's no secret. My dad did not believe I was his kid. And we really didn't attach until I was almost a teenager. But my dad was there pretty much all of my life. For those of you who read the book, you know the story. As much as my mom loved me, it was still a little bit of because that cloud was hanging over the family, there was also some regret there. I felt rejected by some other family members, some cousins. Didn't have friends at that time. But I had this deep wound of feeling like I wasn't loved, like I didn't belong. And because of the area that we grew up in, spanking was, a weekly occurrence. And I mean beatings, not exactly spankings. And so I didn't feel safe. I didn't feel wanted, loved. I felt like something was wrong with me because it just so happens my parents were in a terrible car accident that left me with some challenges. And so I had this dismissive avoidance really bad. I blunted off my feelings. That's why I say for most people, to get under my skin, to aggravate me, you really you got to work at it. It's not a quick process because I'm going to ignore you for the most part. And then when I can't ignore you, I'm going to remove myself from the situation. And if I can't remove myself from the situation, I'm going to find a corner to go sit in and try to ignore you again. And then I'm going to give you everything you asked for. And I'm going to not stop until until I can't physically give it to you no more, which means I run out of gas, or you stop moving. One of the two. But anyway, neither here nor there. Also, I am. Oh yeah, so I want to go back to that last point. You don't feel like you can rest, and you are constantly on alert. That flight or flight. You can become overly attached to material things like money. How many people, when we get older, we get attached to our stuff, how much money we got, and we let that speak for us? Or we become crazy animal lovers. Because guess what? Animals, a dog's always going to be happy to see you when you come home. Those cats, they're little arrogant behinds, but they're still companions. You know they're predictable. As long as you feed them, as long as you give them some love and a little affection, they don't even require that much. But they're going to come back. They're going to show up. They're not really going to disappoint you too much. But people are complicated. So we find that feeling that we need in the space of something that we have more control over. A list of people I don't want to see angry. Marshawn Lynch, oh for sure. James Harrison, oh for sure. Me? Come on now. Okay. You know what? I can't even front, bro. I can't even front. I won't even lie to you, Kay. I appreciate that. I won't lie to you. For those who knew me back when I was really struggling, I had an extreme I don't care attitude. And I was determined that you were not going to out crazy me. And so I would be willing to die in a moment's notice for what I thought I wanted, for the point I'm trying to make. It was bad. I'm honestly surprised that I'm still here. Just to be totally honest, I'm surprised that I'm still kicking around this planet. Because I was really reckless, and I've done some things that I'm not proud of. I've done some things that I wish I could take back, but I was fortunate enough to still be here, to live, to learn, to grow, and I'm better for it. Monique saying, that chick, I will not let you be the car lady. Oh, see, I'm not by myself. Oh, cat lady. Not be the old cat lady. Oh, I feel you. But that's what happens when our heart is bleeding, when we're hurting, man. We want to push away. We go through a bad breakup. I don't want another relationship. I don't want to be involved in that stuff anymore. They're problematic. I don't like. Yeah, when you say that's a red car, I had an image of her sleeping in her car in truck stops or something. I don't know, but cats made way more sense. So when people with this dismissive avoidance that's really strong, we grow up and we cling. Either we're gonna be the crazy, not crazy. What's the person that go off the grid and live off the land by themselves in the woods, or they're going to be my house, my car, my this, my that, things that give them that security. I'm defective. It's the 1, 2, 3, the third point. I am not trying to make you a lot lizard. I rebuke that. No. Although I do have a story, but never mind. This is not the platform for that one. So I am defective. That's number 4. I am defective. Actually 1, 2, 3. Number 3. Children personalize everything because your parents don't have a strong emotional bond with you. You feel like something is personally wrong with you. In relationships, you think If I let you get close, you will see that I'm defective. So you withdraw. Shame and sadness. This is why I said the dismissive avoidant one. This is the one that causes the most problem for people as they grow up. Because now, wait, where's my? There we go. So now, as we get in here, in relationships, you think if you let people get close, they'll see that you're defective because you didn't have that strong emotional bond with your parents. You feel like something was wrong with you. You felt like you were the problem. Or at least in my case, that's what it was. And so now that goes as an adult, shame and sadness. Now we all have known people like this. I am trapped, stuck, and powerless. That's number 4. Forming an attachment with others makes you feel like you're giving your power away. Haha. I know somebody can relate to that. Because now you feel like your emotions lie in the hands of someone else. You're giving this person the keys to your destruction. That requires a lot of trust. A lot of trust. You don't reach out to your partner often. It feels like something is physically stopping you from taking the action. That's how I feel a lot of times when I go to pick up the phone. I don't want to tell my problems to people. I don't want them to know that I'm struggling. They're just going to make fun of me. I have all this built up anxiety. And so what's the associated emotions? Frustration, irritation, constant screaming in your head, anxiety, fear. Yes. Yes. I want you to know you're not alone. Out of all the attachment styles, this is the most prevalent one. Because it happens not only in your childhood, but it can actually happen in your teen years and your adult life too. When you've been abandoned in a relationship. When your parents go through a divorce later in life. And in my case, and the 5th thing was I am stupid. I was called stupid. I thought that was my name for a long time. Like, anybody remember the movie Antoine Fisher? Ninja. He said she called me Ninja so long I thought my middle name was Ninja. I said, but I was called stupid a lot. And so when you make a mistake, you will be judged harshly for it. You feel connected to the world by learning about it. Sounds like me. And through logic, rather than feeling, you overcompensate by educating yourself to the extreme. Oh, man. Judgmental and critical of yourself and others. Y'all need to mind y'all business and stay out of mine. That's the one right there, y'all. That's the one right there. Monique says, I used to be like that before the hit different. And as clear as tape now. Oh, okay. Yeah, that was the one. That was the one, I tell you. That one gave me all the struggle. Casey, I know somebody just like that. Well, what do you mean, Kay? I don't know what you are referring to there. And I don't know what happened either. My mouse just stopped working. But that was the one. That was the one that gave me my biggest struggles, my biggest challenges. And so I became judgmental and critical of myself and others. Oh, I am clear as tape now. I got you. And the last one was, I am misunderstood, don't matter, am unseen, and unheard. And unheard. There we go. It's back. So your caregivers didn't see your emotional needs. You don't communicate your needs because it feels too vulnerable, which perpetuates this wound. You're hesitant to bring up emotions because it has been repressed in childhood with the feeling of rejection. So talking about them re-triggers that feeling, which is why a lot of people won't do therapy because they don't want to go back to that place. They don't want to experience that that feeling anymore. And so that associated emotion is sadness, fear, disconnection, and aloneness. Woo. But it's a cold world. It's a cold world, baby. It's a cold world when you are a dismissive avoidant. Because those wounds run deep and they dabble in the shame. And there's nothing worse than being shamed or feeling shamed. Y'all remember Game of Thrones? Game of Thrones? When Ciri had to take that walk of shame? And she had to walk from the church basically back to the castle. She's the queen mother. And because she has been caught up in adulterous acts, she had to do this shame walk, and people had to judge her, and she was being spit upon, and the nuns, for lack of a better word, were walking with her, ringing the bell, saying, "Ding, shame, ding, shame, ding, shame." And she was just walking, and you could see her shaking, and she was naked in front of the whole world. You know, shame was a huge deterrent years ago when somebody would do something. Like, I guess old and biblical, I don't know, it's biblical times. But if you were caught stealing, then you would lose a hand or a finger or what have you. And so that would be your calling card forever, that you were a thief. You were a thief. And so shame is a powerful motivator to either not do something or to keep doing something, which is where blackmail comes in. If you don't give me this, I'm going to tell everybody. And out of shame, most people give in. Out of shame, most people give in. So now going forward, especially when you see people who are standoffish, unnecessarily standoffish, it's okay to go make a friend. It's okay to go speak to them and console them. Let them know, hey, I see you. I like that outfit. I love those shoes, bro. Hey, yo, you know what I'm saying? Give them compliments, because they're just feeling some anxiety, especially if it's a new place, a new atmosphere. That's why it's important to welcome people. You know, back in the day in church, we used to have welcoming committees. When you move into a neighborhood, there used to be a welcome party that brought a pound cake and some sweet tea to your house or something, you know, and welcome you to the new community or to the new school or wherever. Because the faster you can create those bonds and that togetherness, yeah, anxiety is a real beast. And so now that we've gone through the dismissive avoidance, maybe this will help understand those that, not just ourselves, but those that we love, those that we are surrounded with, you know, our family, our friends, helping understand them. Because sometimes we throw away some really great relationships. We throw away some really great people because we don't understand, one, who we are, but also we don't understand what they're struggling with. And it could be something as simple as knowing that they are dismissive avoidant and that their traumatic childhood, makes it harder for them to connect. So now that tells me, if I want this relationship, I'm going to try a little harder to connect, even if I have to change something within myself. So when my wife or my girlfriend tells me, you leaving feels like you're abandoning me, that gives me the opportunity to say, because I value this woman, I'm going to decrease my need to go and do this. And because I was able to do that, she felt the comfort she needed. I didn't really want to go be alone anyway, but it was my natural reaction to run. He's a runner, he's a track star. He gonna run away when it gets hard, right? And because of that, we've been able to knock down some barriers in our relationship and build a very strong relationship. You know, there are very few people in this world that are unredeemable. We just have to understand where they come from. We just have to understand what they struggle with and be willing to be a part of their healing, be a part of their journey. All right, so let's get back to my boy Rod Wave. Some more of his lyrics. He had this other song. We looked at Hard on Ice first. Hard on Ice, yeah. This was the first song that my son heard. That he was like, Pop, you gotta check this guy out. You gotta hear these words, Pop. You don't get it. Matter of fact, let me. Yep, let's do that. All right, I want to put these on the screen for you. It said, look, heart been broke so many times, I don't know what to believe. Mama said it's my fault, I wear my heart on my sleeve. Ooh, I ain't gonna sing that one. It's kind of hard to sing songs by non-singers unless you sing it better or sing it worse. So he's really a rapper, but he does carry a tune. But the words are even more powerful, right? And so he said, while in the cell with Lil Joaquin. Wait, where am I cursor? There we go. All right. While in the cell with Lil Joaquin after I slapped him, I had told him, I don't know how you get down with them clowns, but I'm a soldier, right? That's that violent aggression that need to pretend to defend ourselves, right? So if you ever wanna get a true warrior, you get somebody that is dismissive and avoidance. It said, no one could understand I had so much aggression that built up over years from my abandoned adolescence. So what is he talking about, his abandoned adolescence? Let me pop back on real quick. You see, he was living a regular life like everybody else, you know, like most people, having a mom, having a dad, until his parents go through a divorce. When his parents went through that divorce, there was already a little bit of a struggle for him. And then his dad got sent to jail. So now his dad is gone. At the time, my son was Jordan was 13. And I couldn't understand why he was struggling, why he was gravitating to this song so bad, because I didn't see the struggle with the relationship, because I had him every day. And so we talked every day, and I thought I was doing my best to mitigate the damage. I thought me talking to him, telling him about, the future and what we're going to be able to do, and things are going to be better. And I'm thinking me doing all of that was making life or his mental process easier. But he was listening to Rod Wave, and he was being fed by Rod Wave. Why? Because Jordan was going through the divorce as well. You see, it wasn't the fact that his parents divorced solely, but it was the fact that his life had been ripped apart. His life had been ripped apart. And he needed somebody that can relate. And I was just trying to make him feel better. I wasn't relating to him. I didn't put him into therapy where somebody could help, mitigate some of that, help get some of those feelings out. That wasn't what I did. And I didn't know any better. I was just trying to be a good parent and make sure that he was okay, make sure he understood what was happening, that I still loved him, that his mom, she still loved him. Yep. So that was Hard on Ice. And you can put on pretty much any Rod Wave song, and you're going to hear his rags to riches, for lack of a better word, but rags to riches story, where he was and what he thought and how he ended up. He is a true storyteller in the sense that he has a opening, an intro that really kind of hooks you. He has a body that tells the meat of the story, and he has a close. And normally his close is something of overcoming or something of being better. So the next one I want to share with you is still Rod Wave, and this song is called Alone. Yeah, Alone. Yeah. He said, you ever feel like you're worthless? Like you ain't worth, yeah. And I know that I ain't perfect, but you know that I'm worth it. Trying to find something to do in my time, ease my pain, get you off my mind. 3 cell phones, I've been on my grind. No more love means no lies. No more love means no lies. So what is that? Heart bleeding again. Somebody has been lying to him. Somebody that he cared for, somebody that he trusted is lying to him. And I tried, yeah, Lord knows I tried. Smoking dope back to back, I'm fried. Thugging for 3 days, see the pain in his eyes, trying to get over pride. And I'm here to let you know, let him know, gotta let him know. If you love him, don't let him go. Why would you ever let him go? I found your headband on the bedroom floor. The only evidence that you've been here before. I don't get waves of missing you anymore. They're more like tsunami tides in my eyes. Yeah, yeah. Remember all the times. Oh, man. I'm going to stop right there. But, yo, some ended badly. Something ended badly. And this man's heart is bleeding. Bleeding. He's constantly bleeding. But it's not just him. We're all constantly bleeding. And the thing that he's doing that's actually helping him is he's getting it out. He's telling the story. Most of us hold it in. And then you have some weird person sitting under a sound stage while everybody else is over in the corner eating and having a good time. I don't know who that will be, but you know. Weird people do weird things sometimes. But so does hurt people. Hurt people, especially if they're the avoidant dismissives, they don't trust easy. They don't love easy because they think, who can love me? This next person, they come and they'll misuse and abuse me as well. I used to have a saying, and this is no shade to my family or my parents or anybody, but it's my truth. It's my reality. It's the thing that I used to say that made me feel okay with not trusting other people. And I would say, if you can't trust the ones who brought you here, how can you trust the ones that you meet here? Because the ones you meet here, you know, they ain't really, what loyalty do they have? They don't have any connection with you. They just meet you. But the ones that brought you here, that should be a strong bond, a strong connection. And when there's not, there's a lot of internal conflict to deal with. A lot of internal conflict to deal with. Another song called Sky Priority. Sky Priority. It says, you know it hurt me to my heart the way our love ended. I blame you. You the reason I don't trust. Skips. My heart so cold. I done been crossed. I don't trust ninjas. He said my name. He get knocked off just like that one ninja. Yeah. So as you can see, this guy's bleeding, man. He go from all the extremes, whether it's the parental, whether it's the friend, whether it's the romantic interest. And there's one more I want to share with you. And this one is called Abandoned. And I think this one actually tells the story a little bit more thoroughly. This is why my son gravitated toward him, which is why so many people gravitated toward Rod Wave's music, because it's like he spoke for them. He spoke for all the kids that, you know, didn't have their pops around, all the kids who had parents that divorced, all the kids that Pops got locked up, then you trusted somebody else, then they disappeared. Kids that had one or the other, and then moms disappeared. Mom said, mama got to have a life too. And so mom started going out doing different things and left kid to fend for himself. That total abandonment. Total abandonment. And Rod Wave is a storyteller. Now, I'm curious what his next phase of his career and journey is going to look like, but the man's a hell of a storyteller. So more shout out to him. But all right, let's go with this last one called Abandon. He's been abandoned his whole life. Oh, yeah. If loving me is hard, I apologize. If I push you away, promise you'll stay by my side. He's been broken, traumatized. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Dog, yeah. Dog, oh, okay. I can remember, gotta remember way back when since a small kid, I didn't ever have no friends. Remember daddy went to prison? Uncle Derek took me in. Then Uncle Derek went to prison. That's when my troubles began. Yo, tell me this man ain't telling this story. And if it wasn't his life, it would be more entertaining. But this is his real life. Mama went off and found her some happiness. She got married, missing my daddy badly. I turned my back on my family. That left me looking for love in all the wrong places. Now my heart was so full of love. Wait, now my heart that was so full of love is full of hate. Everybody I invested, trusted, turned to be snakes. Everybody that I invested, trusted, turned to be fake. I know you're frustrated. You want me to open up more, but it takes a strong, strong heart to heal a broken soul. The beauty of this story is, I don't know why his father went to jail or his uncle went to jail. But when his father got out of jail, he went to his son. He got with, I think, a brother or somebody else, and they got him a mic and a laptop and helped him start this music journey to put that energy into something else. And because of that, this man has taken his life to a whole nother level. But just because he's successful, it doesn't mean he doesn't still have trauma. It doesn't mean there's still a lot of healing that needs to take place. That's right. That's what Yo said. Rapping is his therapy. Abandoned, man, I'm telling you. He got some ones in there that's, it's more catered to the streets. But he got some heartfelts in there that, it'll really make you think about some things that you've gone through, some times, or people that you've known that, man, had I understood this more, had I understood this attachment style more, I would have been better able to deal with that person or this coworker or this child of mine. Because what we don't know, we don't know. And as parents, we do the best we know how to do in the moment, for sure. We do the best we know how to do in the moment. But there is no such thing as a perfect parent. There's no such thing as a perfect journey, a perfect life. We're going to make mistakes at every turn. The only question is, once we know better, will we do better? Once we see that there's a method to the madness, can we make corrections? Can we be warm? Can we be accommodating? Monique says, I can't do my homework assignment. It is sad. Thank you for your honesty, Mo. Thank God I am not in that place anymore. That was the hard place to come out of. Thank God for Jesus and therapy. I've learned to understand others more. Hey. And with that being said, thank you for saying that. Thank you for being transparent. Everything isn't for everybody to do. Sometimes we can revisit our own traumas trying to help somebody else, trying to go through somebody else's journey and struggle. Which is why I'm always careful to say or to tell my story, because I've healed from my story, and I'm able to see other people's struggles a little bit better. I probably should, be go to school and go and get my certifications. I really probably should do that. But it's nothing that I really want to do as a career, as a job. It just, I understand it, and I love empowering people, but I don't really want to do the one-on-one setting kind of thing, which is why I never really did it. Because the one-on-one, that's the real work. That's when you look people in their eyeballs and you have to be honest with them, but you have to do it in a way that you're not running them off, you're not accusing, you really being neutral. And I think I'd have a problem being neutral because I've experienced so much of it. And I'll be like, hey, don't you see? Bro, you did this. Just do this, my guy. That's not good bedside manner for a therapist. I might be effective if they come back, we'll see. But, I don't know. Maybe it's something I'll look at down the road. But being honest with yourself, being honest, being vulnerable is not the easiest thing to do. But I promise you, it can be the most rewarding thing for your life. Because once you unlock the code to you, it gives you a lot more insight to understanding other people. And now, when you spit your story like a raw wave, people will gravitate towards you. People will understand. Are you muted? Let's make sure you're muted. So then when you do things and you stepping on stage, people will have a much better understanding of how you do it. And the irony is that as I haven't watched this, you see the confidence, you see the swagger. The stadium is packed. And there's people every day. They phones out, they recording, they singing word for word, bar for bar. Because his story is impacting so many people. He's not the most athletic. He's not the best looking. You know what I'm saying? He's just a kid who had some trauma, who put it in his notebook and he spit it. And people mess with it because that's their story as well. They share that story. And so for my fellow dismissive of avoidance out there, my fellow dismissive avoidance out there, you're not crazy. You're not alone. You're not doing it by yourself. We all on this journey together. And if I do say, what makes life worth living, honestly, is the overcoming. It's the going through the process, finding your success, finding a victory, and redoing it. Becoming the best version of yourself is really the whole point. Teaching your children to become the best version of their self, that's the point. Well, look who done joined us. I ain't talk about it too much today, so she didn't wake up. But nah, she been working hard, man. We moving and we pulling some late nights, some early mornings, and then we got family stuff too, so thank y'all for cutting her a little grace this morning and a little slack. But yeah, we got a lot of transition happening right now. Oh, man. But that's what life is. That's what makes life so worth the living. And when you find community, when you find family and people that you can really kick it with and just be yourself with, that's what makes life so worth it. It's not always about the money or the what you have, the success. It's about the relationships. And there's no more important relationship than the one you have with yourself. So, thank you for being here today. Shout out to everybody that was able to make it. Oh, man. Thank you for your continued support. Thank you for your comments, your feedback. Just for being you. Because I wouldn't be able to do what I love to do. I wouldn't even be as encouraged to do it if it wasn't for you showing up in the mornings. I really enjoy doing this. Even when I'm tired. Even when there's a lot of stuff going on in my mind. Even when I don't feel like going to work, I still want to come here. Yeah, man. I know a lot of people out there listening. They can't say nothing sometimes. But I see you. I know you're there. And so I thank you and I appreciate you. But yeah, so we got to get this day started. Tomorrow, on the fence about tomorrow's show. Tomorrow's Wednesday, right? May not have a show tomorrow, but I'll let you know in the Facebook group. But if not tomorrow, probably Thursday morning might be the last. But I'm going to try to get one more out this week. All right, man. Y'all go. Be productive. As Health Talk says, have a great day no matter what. Y'all be blessed, and we'll catch you sometime soon. Peace. If it